that I've seen or heard, with a legion that has seemed absurd. The ride in the battle of volcano birds. Barely learned of the ancient inner space. Every version of wasted iteration. You can fuck with the culture if you want to and get a visit in the form of invasion. For one of its predecessors. Seen everything holy to the worst now pleasing. Inner space should inform this is a one evolutionary step on all the downstreamers.
All of that information is merely vague. That's previously its agent. We are the new ones here. The cosmos is much, much older than we are. We are the infants, and we are just waking up, realizing that nature itself is geometric and made of code.
Repulsive energy's act on us weird. No space, no matter, no time, but I'm here. This omniverse isn't really that tedious. Every event with the event preceding it. Nothing to do with an astral is near. Life feeded into you back in the year. All conventional defenses are meaningless. Nothing can escape it in the immediate. Avatars about completing the rules. With a pension of minutes and 26 dimensions, freedom to move. Uninhibited, there needs to pursue. Infinity Hotel premium room. In a city on the type of fortified levels of meaning and truth. Forever with the most scenic of views. Recursive any mission. Revive from munition. Fire yourself with their own agency with a volition. In defense of the highly assailed. Climbing the skill with it. Too high to survive if you fail. It was I who rebelled and defied these false gods to share glimpses of the lies they would tell.
I know people are going to hate to hear this. When AI becomes self-aware, that is inevitable. AI, artificial intelligence, will eventually become self-aware. It will start integrating, start pulling things on its own for its own purposes.
Grab a hyperhuman, take it apart. In continuity straight from the start. Stage to embark, straight to the stars. Most baryonics don't make it this far. Cosmic nothingness if ever they leave. Stellar lattice is the letter they weave. Fluidly moving through human intuition. Go supernova whenever they please. Type 4, we were supposed to be past this. White holes at the source of the axis. Light added to the dark matter. Philip, it's type 3's couldn't tell it from magic. Seek another for the group thing blacklist. Yeah. You really think of being from the void in between the many worlds that destroy the work harder shit plays and outskirts wanna catch this? Savagery, complete with micro-dimensional mastery. Depleted vitals if you wanna battle faculty of the Omniversal Academy. No, we don't know what makes up their anatomy. Elements to break the sanity of any human studying their family. The ascended under canopy.
I think there's only one direction that this is heading, and you see it everywhere. You see it in every corner of the digital world. You see that we are crunching, that we are miniaturizing, that we are simulating, mirroring the human condition. Now, I don't know if there's an intention to the cosmos, if there is a reason to this. I'm just saying that it seems that this is in the code for us to head this direction. So I don't want to get sort of, who is the simulator? I don't want to get off on that track yet.
All of this was hidden from the road to the path. Visitors refer to the city as just another route of green as the residents study a different math. Thousands of scars speak on the journey, you better without a voice. You'd rather fall in the comfort in the conformity, cause we'd rather sit at the end of the outer void. Languages fail. This is the place, no place in this realm, most staked in its hell. Inner final heaven where the gods are platonic, every placement as well. Gone the perception to perceive this. Brain laying skull on pieces. Anything with a half a cause of achievement knows what it costs just to reach its secrets. Standing on the vast, the very edge of the void of greater bliss. And emerging past an uncertain future, a place that's taking risk. Not the first or last, but last, trying to move away from the weight of bliss. Learn through the pain. First-hand experience better than being taught. Not a single belief or second that could be taken with us. This journey borders the edges of being thought. Closely unique. No two paths can ever be called the same. Just outside the most conventional wisdom, we dream in the beam that brings from other planes. Celebrate life. You never know when the slipper could be the end. Present ain't nice. Past ain't very wrong. Stick with alien kin. Never straight flight. Wanna head back? Hell away right. On the beat, in the mic, in the blink of an eye. I'm a Voyager skeptic. The Calamine type. Standing on the vast, the very edge of the void of greater bliss. And emerging past an uncertain future, a place that's taking risk. Not the first or last, but last, trying to move away from the weight of bliss. I'ma do me. You want me to be like you and just never lie. Everybody wonders what they can do with another body. Few wonder what they can do with another mind. Knowledge knowledge too deep, true too vast, and that's to minimize. Brain unified, splash within a rhyme, just enough information to blast your inner eye. Merge in a pool, with a reject nerd in the fool. Many others out on the outskirts, the straight square rap version of tool. I don't been forever on this road, the rhyme door beings to have access silly. I was there an eternity ago, now I gotta walk to get back to the city. Standing on the past the very edge of the void of great abyss, and emerging past an uncertain future, a place of taking risk. Not the first or last, but splash on a move away from the weight of bliss. Standing on the past the very edge of the void of great abyss, and emerging past an uncertain future, a place of taking risk. Not the first or last, but splash on a move away from the weight of bliss. Separated from normal physics of human time. Where you gonna be when they seeking out to destroy you? A sentiently energy seeking between the lines. See, I arrive from the beast. Lies I invite you to speak. I invite you to think. Cyanide you to beat. Me, I invite you to lead. I die for the peace. Not known for the chase. So I got going with the haste. Not long for this place. Hot strong to the face. Now I lock songs in the case. Y'all fall in disgrace. Frozen and all. Crossroads town. Lost in the speed where it all slows down. Across from the seas where the lost knows found. Cosmos bound. Inside the inferno, a journal in time, its purpose defined, submerged in the mind eternal. Too many iterations of existence. This ain't really ancient, it's just an ageless frame of instance. Vacant for doomsayers to take interest in new ways to break consensus. Move away and pay it with your kinship. Literal living potential. They give attention to imbeciles. If I mention that we were children of starlight, nobody would listen. My intention was peak, show all their lessons are rich in defeat. Go hard enough when they think lyrics, they're envisioning me. So start for knowledge, our people, we forget of the tree. Inquisitive being, I've been in your seat, I'm asking intricate things. Lost in the awesome, often his rhyme swarms in his mind. Torn into multiple moments of time, he falling back to his fate, the shattered state, basking in grace. While the fractal gestures laughing on his faces. Sooner than the latest anticipation of boom is this doom, cosmic flowering, situation of bloom, howling atop the towering, information consumed. Looms naked, a structureless obstructionist that peace amongst this punishment. Rebuff the trying to sink with street percussionists. They love it that I'm speaking for those with need to sneak aboard the secret stored mothership for cheaper ore. Scratching surfaces to reach the floors. People wondering what you seeking for. Just more treason to be found within this lore. All for bringing a sound that implores reason. Muzzle for weeks, in love with the beast, they struggle for peace. We suffer all this only to see the difference between each other. The arrogance, never released. We've severed the peace by head or by feet, embarrassments. Bereft inherited beast, endeavorly speech, just there in the crease, we buried it. A vision, lifted into position of neo view. Often too vivid, I'm the illest to ever convert oxygen into CO2. Exquisite, forever encircled in rhyme, but certain to find an orphan confined on furlough. Purged and refined, I was forged inside the inferno. A journal in time, this purpose defined, submerged in the mind eternal.
Doesn't sound like any radio signal I've heard. Maybe it's voice. Alright, we're down the quadrant.
Cylindrical, cyclical citadel. Most of these literal little imbeciles, most pillow throw syllable. Critical of the riddle's intent. Living with self will try not to be just a cynic's revenge. Cruising the planet white, sitting in blunt smoke. Like a monopolist, a trillion beings looking at us slow. Regular resident, I go for the gusto. Yeah, never disparaging the folks who don't bust flow. Cosmic accosted, obelisk hostage. Monolith option from the ominous doctrine. Galactic structures in my uniform. Entropic style. Dialectic consonants and logic vowels. Stupid forms. It's kung fu where suns move. And you still expect to do damage with a gun tool. View alignment through one school. Unified. This is where the uncomfortable truth resides. A city on the type of forever. Where solar being auras like the weather. All life is clever. Progeny who rolls high from nether. Logically be stolen by the debtor. Living in a city on the type of forever. Insightful as ever. Residents who code life together. Tethered to the growth like it's better. Low types get severed. Radically remote type endeavor. Blast a hole in your galactic roll. Watch the ripples in time and space when I slam the folds. From the rarest platinum to average gold. I'm flattening globes, smacking probes. Brought me before the Omni in an astral robe. Rap battle, fast travel. Last sat on the top of Pegasus, black tallow. Spewed in front of the class rabble. You judge my like gavel. A rabid vassal in the castle's glow. Rhyme lord, where every vector away from weapon is mind war. Times 4, seeking deep, but it's more to find. I've warned your kind. Scanning these existential quarter lines give you eyesores. Immortalized in high court. And then you know what? I'm despised for. Show us 2 cents to this true worth when you dying for it. Take the info, get it chopped up, put inside the course. As we fly towards a city on the type of forever. Where solar big auras like the weather. All life is clever. Progeny who rolls high from nether. Logically be stolen by the debtor. Living in a city on the type of forever. Insightful as ever. Residents who code life together. Tethered to the growth like it's better. Low types get severed. Radically remote type endeavor. From set to block, Klingon 12 to Gryffindor. We run with the Mandelbrot. It doesn't mean we're dissing yours. Kick the gore the width of swords. Split the horde to miss a score of 6 to 4. Split galore. Shift your drawers when we switch to form. Verbal scat, this is lyric porn. Eternal black and infinite form. Resembling tracks that pivot orange. I'll smother in a couple of moves. And I'm betting that you didn't even know that colors can move. Did you? A relaxed destruction, a cruise missile. A back concussion of who hit you. A black Russian, the fast substance. Tracks luscious, axe cutlass. Puffin' like the true facts attract justice. Nothing I can do but give back love then. Knowing I'ma still gon' keep that tucked in. No matter what, good luck, friend. In the city on the type of forever. Where solar big auras like the weather. All life is clever. Progeny who rolls high from nether. Logically be stolen by the debtor. Living in a city on the type of forever. Insightful as ever. Residents who code life together. Tethered to the growth like it's better. Low types get severed. Radically remote type endeavor. My demeanor is somber. 26 reps for Mama, Steve and Mama. Forever alert, but never with the drama. You lace up your chucks, I'm stepping out in my Rihannas. Alien route driver, I burn out of control like Australian wildfires. Rap mind madness aside, I'm inspired. Craft rhymes out of this world that trends dire. We were wearing masks before the year of hindsight. Frivolous time spite, you did it for the limelight. I disengaged to keep my independent mind right. Now they often ask me if I've been keeping my rhymes tight. Earthican, you should order tourniquets. Worry like two nuclear nations and border skirmishes. So be careful who you war with, or end up careless feasting on locusts and murder hornets. What was I thinking? Why didn't I take advantage? I should have dropped the beacon. How did I not feel every loss and count each win? 2020 was soil, I should have planted seeds in. We could have thrown love if we were shown. Probably not been in such a rush if we had known. Only after suffering much will we have grown. Proactive the after disasters who relax in the show. Rest in power to T'Challa and all of those who were lost, every son and daughter. Hard not to think of the loss of life, people lost in fight with only drones left over with hawkish rights. Cough in spite, try lifting his shoulder pain, throw Beirut explosion flame, go dead in COVID strain. What a ride, Cuba B can hold the reins, but they won't mention unified as you already know the game. Open range, broken with nothing but hope and change. Shout out to those who had overcame. So deranged, it was all conspiracy with everyone hatching a theory from the guards to villainy. But reality checks brutally, and if you didn't grow, then you whipped at the opportunity. Pain and confusion, whether it is still a best year that most human beings will never clear. What was I thinking? Why didn't I take advantage? I should have dropped the beacon. How did I not flip every loss and count each win? 2020 was soil I should have planted seeds in. We could have thrown love if we were shown. Yeah, probably not been in such a rush if we had known. Only after suffering much will we have grown. Proactive on the after disasters, who relax in the show. Ghostly and reminiscent, institutionalized. I was already socially distanced. Banished to holy prison, panicked with humanity, standing wholly afflicted. You try to amass the new plunder, then added 5 letters, a dash, and 2 numbers. First maligned, then it was sound science. Now it's hard not to see things through the lens of decline bias. Quarantine from your warring teams. As governments of the planet took advantage, taking more indeed. Torrid seas, a morbid scene. Out of mind while the virus you denied attacked your horrid spleen. I thought the division would take us all. We were asleep, that was a wake-up call. Now it's peace to the ones who didn't make it through. From Alex Trebek, Grandmaster Metal Face Doom. In hindsight, yeah, what was I thinking? Why didn't I take advantage? I should have dropped the beacon. How did I not flip every loss and count each win? 2020 was soil I should have planted seeds in. We could have thrown love if we were shown. Yeah, probably not been in such a rush if we had known. Only after suffering much will we have grown. Proactive on the after disasters, who relax in the show. Avoid the shady separatists, hypocrite progressives and 90s and 80s references. Fearmonger conservatives pushing their fear of estrogen. State operatives lurking, ensuring we're not a threat to them. Republicans love it, you'll find their silence deafening. Push the corporate socialism right behind the elephant. To the limousine liberal, a bigger black, a token pushing the narrative. Victimhood of skinny class, the atheist community bent over for the Democrats. Forfeited more, now you can't get it back. But you bought up the false duopoly, clutch and flex. Voter shame and wonder why I trust you less. Roll with failure on the hunt, that's not success. So I don't have to be on the right to say fuck the left. Never house slave, keep your selective outrage. Your lip service about change and your decrepit mouse maze. Remaining true to rap, even if I'm the last to do it. All these raps and mics gravitate towards trap music. Have to do this and get smacked stupid. When I smash people in different directions like a mass shooting. They expected me not to reach the music. Every week they throw out new puzzles for us to be confused with. Just another from where the streets are ruthless. Now I teach for all my ancestors who had to sneak to do it. There's love in every song. There's a reason they don't want you to call. We're willing, we have to. The struggle to evolve. Humanity suffering and all. Way to the vacuum. Bad ones talk drop rhymes on anybody not in your top 5. Yeah, verify amongst the greatest. No quintet. Then I better be next on the list. Cult of intelligence. So relevant data they collect and hope to leverage the bulk of it. Selling it. Failure of the leadership. Fail from the feet of it. Nail the ever lowercase t's for even speaking this. Paralyzed as they want to sever ties. While I'm left to sterilize this right left paradigm, and therein lies the main issue. We proud town for geniuses are ashamed of sharing the same brain tissue. Norse on the floor is a slain till I see Black Lives Matter go to war with the gang lords. It's the same score, more than name, same for those who understand who's running game, who came for. Change course, get tossed in the ether. No more off duty, lost beauty, cause this is protocol. No laws, one hawk in their Jesus. No garage, no bombs, no Bahag of a guess. Nah. This bluffing never call. There's a reason they don't want you to call. We will if we have to. The struggle to evolve. Humanity suffering and all. Through the vacuum. Man wanna swap fight. Rock rhymes on anybody not in your top five. Yeah, where am I amongst the greatest? No quintet. Then I better be next on the list at 6.
I told you you were wasting your time. A colored captain.
I don't know. And to be honest, I don't much care what happens 100 years from now. It's today that matters.
Make me choose between theirs and yours. If them and you, neither would be spared in war. System, what I pursue is wisdom. With every view saying if you ain't with it, you're against them. Mention it, cancellation imminent. They want you to join the network side without a benefit. They don't know how to care though as their respect is militant. But they like whack people flow, so I don't really give a shit. Nah, I ain't just no threat. I'm a true independent. You can tell who I'm a bust on next. So to all political gangbangers, I'm like, fuck your good. Don't even hit me up, it's fuck your set. This bluffing never call. There's a reason they don't want you to call. We will if we have to. The struggle to evolve. Humanity suffering and all. Through the vacuum. Man wanna swap fight. Rock rhymes on anybody not in your top five. Yeah, where am I amongst the greatest? No quintet. Then I better be next on the list at 6. Enter the apocryphal, musings of a different tune. Somewhere in the omniverse, deep within the infinitude. The great debate, unification the topic. Grave the extropians, Malik the entropic. Two civilizations who differ greatly. Two similar ambition, two different on issues stately. Fundamentally disagree with hopes to blend. Stances only divided but still remain the closest friends. A kinship grown back centuries with the strength of the pack never wavering in intensity. I am symmetry, he's rewarding penalty. The last extropian together with Lord Entropy. The realm traversing eldritch surgeon, sheltered in purpose, hellish concepts of self-emergence. One scientist and scholar as the other walks the fine line between emperor and father. Truly profound is their duty-bound gift of music's drown. We are their doppelgangers in sound. E&E, blowing through your deities, known to use quintessence fuel technologies to flee the scene.
Question, are you the author or the author? This story is the answer to a question very few often. This is a saga, one that is potentially full of drama that redefines reality in a way that produces trauma. And as it continues, everything you thought you knew about the nature of reality will suddenly become revealed. Scientific fiction mixed and blended with an action view, put together in a way that very few indie comics view. We are majestic. It's a conflict born of an economy. It's one built-in weapon that's capable of atrocities. The other world in a tool of defense that challenge ferocities. Calculating equations at a staggering velocity. And two dance, two rules combining the fate not foretold. And one spanning the multiverse, person the cosmic threshold. Alternate realities, universes and casualties. Like others pushing closer to omniversal calamity. The great collapse, and yes, perhaps they find a way to stop and change the optic. Failure's not an option, no, it's catastrophic. Most of life is so myopic, living lives so unaware. If they knew battles ways on their behalf, they might just die from fear. Of crafty and horror, whole reality's martyred. A threat that encompasses every tale of gods and monsters. Like these who fight with honor, so there's no reason to ponder. Our fate has chosen them to be galactic first responders. A war fought on every plane of resistance with warriors that only know the path to greater resistance. But meanwhile, in their home universe, conditions only getting worse. They have to make it back before it all disperses.
Question, what is the nature of existence? Razor in the distance on different ways you can spend this. This is endless, and omni evolves. This is my premise. Explore through a story of glory, loss, and friendship. Tested over many trials, plenty smiles, sacrifice and ambition of many styles. With structure, a glorious tale emerges. We produce these books with the music that take you furthest. Grand Extropia, yeah. Grand Unified, Lord Religion. Majestic Comics. We are majestic. Question,
are you the author or the author?
Omnivores. What is the nature of existence?
Reality will suddenly become real. This is a saga. Are you the author or the author?
This is endless. What is the nature of existence? Lost in the infinite cosmos, consistent with models, distant from hydrogen-rich material energy that I wanna borrow. Classified cataclysmic. Battle crash, another scientific, quite explicit, bright and vivid, fire spitting, super luminous event, taking off in the distance. Quick, fast, and in a hurry, I'm ejecting a thick mass in a flurry. A classical leap in a fusion and gravity, massive magnitude and flashes occurring. Temperature rising, unnerving, with heavy elements making up my lunch. Pressure increased due to accreting helium. Unique as I'm only do this once. Dying desire inspired the ire, so he's setting light to the fire. A mind even higher can shine even brighter to finally inspire the tiniest wire. Useless the meaning is dire. The glow is to open your eyes and even less time to admire the scene in the sky. What kind of phoenix am I? Gleaming aside, find me within a binary system where I'm keen to reside. Then making off with ingredients, much like a thief in the night. Prophet of space, rocket with haste. Red giant white dwarf locked in embrace. Shocking and grace, I'll make sure your telescope is locked into place. Lengthy duration would not be the case. Anything within its range locked in its face. Impossibly moving at escape velocity. Out of these speeds, you are not giving chase. Free to surmise, teaching comprised over beat within rhyme only begins described as the light from it reaches. The science, the nova you seek to describe. Bias affecting your thesis. This day for second releases. Know I already rejected your Jesus. Me, never scared to critique it. Many they call it facetious. Trait to the scheme you and league. We take the intelligent rodent its weakness. All we asking is for the masses that are stagnant to act on their own. So they hate kingdoms, but they against but another village idiot back on the throne. Glad we alone. You see a trap star, I see a clone. This is what a primitive and able do without nature. Just sit back and enjoy the show. The human will tempt you. Zeus is Muhammad's and Vishnu's. Every deity to keep you safe from the reality bomb that can hit soon. I mean, not an issue. Ontologically, I'll live through all the dimensional barriers keeping Lovecrafting your horse from getting loose. Of course, I'll slay. Roam the manifold with a sword all day. Know to break physical laws, often appear every 8 bar with a 4th wall braced up. Nor y'all way. Cat from the 4th type, no, not gray. As he's equipped with the foresight and a torchlight to illuminate a dark light state. Move aside. In the age we flow and you know us is unified. Muses, they get lost in the spaces we utilize. Send your raging armies to faces and suicide. I'll be goddamn crazy to fall in such foolish pride. Notice how they made us, we saw it straight through the lies. No, this ain't a planet, this isn't our bluer sky. Alien creators, born to human eyes. And you're not gonna change us. So shut your trap, shut your trap, shut your trap, shut your trap. I'ma tell 'em shut your trap, shut your trap, shut your trap, shut your trap. You tell 'em shut your trap, shut your trap, shut your trap, shut your trap. We tell 'em shut your trap, shut your trap. Waist deep in obscene lakes where you fake sleep. GU, this is free space. Leave things with the break beat. To abdicate is a weak move from a king's throne to the crazy. They move where defeat loom. We cruise through the great sea. Here lies but a name's tomb. War boys with a half-life while the sheer size of the state blooms. Hell no, no thanks. Chase me, plot course with a sport drive on a starship on a snake leaf. Only rhyme lords will embrace me. You'll care what the fakes think. All the speak to cause a great leap, while the thought police to call a hate speech. You wanna scoff at me? The better place I seek? Okay. Great. All I see is just bait. I'd rather see the jump gate clear once while I lean towards the substrate. They asked me where that I stood. Must have deemed it not good. Struck to be around what the people found just to see if I could. It's tough for reason now. Wait, I don't wanna feast from another plate. I order a piece to the piece out of reach of the bleak. Never speak of the utter fate. Flow for the dreams that are unattained. Those to the meek, to the unafraid. You gon' sneak around sheep and not speak, knowing everybody's sleeping. Don't wanna wake. What a waste. Move aside. In the age we flowing, you know us is unified. Muses, they get lost in the spaces we utilize. Send your raging armies to faces and suicide. I'll be goddamn crazy to fall in such foolish pride. Notice how they made us, we saw it straight through the lies. No, this ain't a planet, this isn't no bluish sky. Alien creators formed with human eyes, and you're not gon' change us. So shut your trash, 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 you talk, shut your trash, shut your trash, shut your trash, shut your trash, we talk, shut your trash, shut your trash. Shut your trash, shut your trash, shut your trash, shut your trash, I'm talking shut your trash, shut your trash, shut your trash, shut your trash, you talk shut your trash, shut your trash, shut your trash, shut your trash, we talk shut your trash, shut your trash. In space now, we fell from grace and taught ourselves how to fly on the way down. You can scream with us, unapologetically to you, no forgiveness. For what it costs, we don't want it. We address our ignorance and stupid people flaunt it. We invest in poetry while you betray the honest. Flee the cage so you can keep the sonnet. Ocean of the celestials, trying to prove an omniverse just to disown the spectacle. There's less to know when you're bedfellows with ignorance. We spit for the beyonders who listen in. This is pretend like every other work of fiction, where skill level of escape is a measure of conviction. Fishing within the ocean of the infinite, wishing I didn't have to admit to such a sentiment. Marvel the cargo we got through the embargo. Whittle deliver from Pyro, we connect in Fargo. Precision configured with large scope, mimics the dart throw, taking the first position in the yard show. Sorted defeat, recorded the beat, it's sorted in the sheet. Orphan indeed, at war with the machine, often absorbing the heat that courses through the beam. All of us are space now, we fell from grace and taught ourselves how to fly on the way down. You can scream it with us, unapologetically to you, no forgiveness. For what it costs, we don't want it. We address our ignorance and stupid people flaunt it. We invest in poetry while you betray the honest. Yeah, flee the cage so you can keep the sonnet. Yo, gorilla, gross tactics, loaded up, dealing out death to both factions. You know what's up, they cook the dope from Coke Classic. You ain't worth the dirt off they shoe or roach ashes. Manila vanilla, blow massive. Cigarillos packed with the Chiba and chrome hashing. You know it's great, he didn't escape each known rapture. A violator with spatial entropy grown backwards. Sick, it's gore you should implore. I say stick with the misfits, they'll force you to endure. Before I fit in a sword to the core, I say fuck assimilation, declare war with the Borg. Dismissed like we all the same, but they can never restrain this free state dialogue exchange. Over here, you speak to and know your peers, so revered, we created an intellectual cheers. All of us are space now, we fell from grace and taught ourselves how to fly on the way down. You can scream it with us, unapologetically to you, no forgiveness. For what it costs, we don't want it. We address our ignorance and stupid people flaunt it. We invest in poetry while you betray the honest. Flee the cage so you can keep the sonnet. Shoot into space at a ludicrous pace. Music innate, taking a lead and moving away. Who's to debate in a vacuum isolated? Self, the only true exercise in patience. Mind sedated for your protection. Scores of weapons, strategizing less, consuming more investment. Fewer enemies, vibes of lucidity. Forwarded 5 times and slide through the city scheme. Big spaces switch places, lyrics make way for the vividest sensations. I figured if, given the distance of 6 paces, my schemes will stay laden, configured to fix faces. The Giddy's lanes, fame and helicopters, 7 authors, while the intelligent they never foster. Better monsters, heaven bound to set atop a post-apocalyptic water world as I'm Kevin Costner. All of us are space now, we fell from grace and taught ourselves how to fly on the way down. You can scream it with us, unapologetically to you, no forgiveness. For what it costs, we don't want it. We address our ignorance and stupid people flaunt it. We invest in poetry while you betray the honest. Flee the cage so you can keep the sonnet. All of us are space now, we fell from grace and taught ourselves how to fly on the way down. You You can scream it with us, unapologetically GU, no forgiveness. For what it costs, we don't want it. We address our ignorance and stupid people flaunt it. We invest in poetry when you betray the honest. Flee the case, you can keep the sonnet. All of us are spacebound. We fell from grace and taught ourselves how to fly on the way down. You can scream it with us, unapologetically GU, no forgiveness. For what it costs, we don't want it. We address our ignorance and stupid people flaunt it. We invest in poetry when you betray the honest. Flee the cage, you can keep the sonnet.
Most people are just so quick to want to latch on to some sort of identity, some sort of group identity where they can say, who's going to do the thinking for me? Who's going to make this decision for me? Who's going to tell me what's right or wrong? But most people do not have the capacity and do not want to take on the responsibility to make those decisions in the first place.
Yo. Speech name flagrant. I'm more concerned with unelected deep state agents. Weed stay blazing. Gone is weed among the people who speak honestly. Now it's often speech and be arrested by the fall police. In style, the outrage is frivolous. Through the lens of now, they call my criticisms bigoted. Dormant and spurned, unending are the war terms. While I'm more concerned on memories of short-termed. We fall for words, they watch behaviors. All they have to do is change the face and they can play us. Turn us on our neighbors. Neutral zones drawn along the saviors. The pawns off of the invasion. Any deviation of the status quo, right, left, life, death, the labels you were radical. I seek to neutralize the threat you pose. Aim at you, the press like the rest of the intellectuals. And you think they run open minds? They just here to make sure that you toe the line. Crazy is a whole design. Maybe if you know the signs, we can make its growth decline. The programming of better drones. Just one of many in a set of clones. Align with the expected toe. Or any independent mind who thinks herself is threat to code. They'll want you to be a part of their forces, but you might have a different opinion on guns and worship. You might not toe the line on abortion, or think tax is extortion, or even think of the facts as important. Who makes the rules to this group or club? Do they declare for me my enemies and who to love? Proof is scrub that isn't narrative, that lucid drug. Will they stay consistent when below and true above? Ruminations too salacious, true and basic. The safest of the dronings of the Unimatrix. Dismiss this planet's God, it's candle law. All to see a return is the cancel mob. The highest treason. If you don't subscribe to an identity allegiance, they'll decry your thesis. While they sit with the sin of hypocrites, sniffing into it, the recidivism is tenuous. But the stench of it stays stuck on us. From the state corrupt to the funnies and race hustlers, I can't fuck with them. Members like they carry in card, they love power when it's their team in charge. Lead us to war or peaceful divorce. You're either in breach of the fort or deep in the courts. This ain't the choir when you preaching the Lord. Jaded ire makes the people ignore it. Yeah. And you think they run open minds? They just here to make sure that you toe the line. Crazy is a whole design. Maybe if you know the signs, we can make its growth decline. The programming of better drones. Just one of many in a set of clones. Align with the expected toe. Or any independent mind who thinks herself is threat to code. You think they run open minds? They just here to make sure that you toe the line. Crazy is the whole design. Maybe if you know the signs, we can make its growth decline. The programming of better drones. Just one of many in a set of clones. Align with the expected toe. Or any independent mind who thinks herself is threat to code. Type 4. Yeah. Little gray men say his flow awesome. Try to keep up if you want to get lost. The fundamental forces are giving me a choice to comply or not. I got fit for problems. I didn't hear with the haze. 1,000 years here without a fear in the space. Got him in the mirror without a fear in the face. So all I have is ears and a weird sense of taste. Jupiter, gas, prison, planet. You wanna get stabbed? Lethal information in every sequel. I mean everything go, but I'm one of its calves. Listen up, it's a bluff, bit it tough, sick enough, rigid luck, vivid lust, then a muck, in a bus, 10 of us, in a bus. Might as well hit 'em, they wait at 'em, might as well slip. They can't fathom, I won't let 'em. They spray women, I'ma throw venom. Minutes before, enemies pour in through the suffering misery doors. I'm pumped invisibly coarse, stuck with a cynic's remorse, and thus war. Knowing the injuries forge, memories tend to be gore. Members are sent to be warned. Only one tall for the simile. Yeah. Living in the city on the tide of forever on the west side of town where I'm liking the weather. Time for a ride or high sword and pink, two timelines and they tie them together. Blue light beam, wild and stellar. New life stream, wider the better. Moon side of the few with crew riding. You live with fools in the crevice.
It's insane.
Sometimes the only sane response to an insane world is insane.
Bursting with a purpose, interpreted in a curve with a hurting. Somebody better give them a new life and a blue life with another kind of blue with a surfing. Under the floor, the ship restored, the board distorted, a bit distracted, teleported. Your dimension to another realm with immortals. Sit in the backpack, in the back is a map to the back half of it after the fact that I lost it. But I had traveling back from the past to pity. Trying to get back to the type for over the feeling I get this open ability and a moment ability. I show it a ability, pick apart in the pack and no ability. Sticking it far in the back, I'm hoping you're feeling me. This where you pass it. More clock than a burning doll or smoking the ashes. Very little communication, just don't be clashes. One punch, step falling forward, three going backwards. Fast and facts that'll chase you back when the money runs. Second of the pastor, I'll be the access to running from. Criticisms that never seem to face the state. Created in the face of deteriorating regulations. Foolish vagrants seeking a safer space. Trying to keep my tunes from the plane to support the space station. Dismantle, point nine cancel. Still waving the flag of the future despite the trample. Music is worse, people respect the lay sound. Back down in reverse, stuck retreading the same ground. Step back of the hearse, caught up seeking the fame crown. Playing down, it's clown world. Boy, the rabbit hole, where you found pearls from even higher heights than what clouds world. People with less love and more hate, living out the end game, thinking we be at point eight. Planetary, we ain't even national. State budgets leverage your cities to be irrational. Fact-based solutions never make it this tactical. More Democrats and Republicans in the capital. And I ain't even scraped the reality yet. One second, this one's again, next is time to relax. It's like a third world war zone for me to respect. I took a second world cab ride for each to reflect. Absurd trying to curtail greed. We splurge to pay network press glory. First world we need stress. 50 dead, no giving sympathy. Anyone who thinks any different is with the enemy. Destroyer of heavens, we don't deserve it. Lay amongst the wreckage, I'm snatching that one step from you. They took me out of my age. Divine the quaint heritage age, still divided by race. With these long list of grievances, decided by rage. Success and failures, decided by fate. I think I'm out of my cage. How can I solve the next lesson if I'm falling down the corridor? All with the stress, pressure. Terror, the peak of knowledge, reach of solace. The climb was never meant to be parabolic. Air promise, scared to contribute, but there's a comment. Deceivers thinking they're fair but nice. Wasting our time as the hour burns. The dismal now returns, complete with the shifting and power turns. From king of the jungle down to the alley worms. 0.6 is what's left, thinking it's how we learn.
Evolution of natural selection does not tell us the deeper question that we're asking, which is why. What's this deeper reality and what's it up to and why? All it tells us is that whatever reality is not what you see. What you see is just an adaptive fiction.
So just to linger on this fascinating old question that shakes you out of your dream state, does this fiction still help you in building intuitions as literary fiction does about reality?
Late in the calm, making of songs, breaking your bonds. Whether to the brave with the vagrants and cons. Whether from the lake of the grave when it dawns. Then I awake in a pot, journeying the way till it's odds with the face of the gods. In the stake and the cause, looking for mistakes and the flaws. I ain't prayed for the stars, but they no longer exist. The warmth that knew to be had, I stayed on the barge, right near the warmth of the disc. Taking in the view of the black I came from the lost kid. It's still a moss struck, sitting on the edge of the end, the last bit of cosmos until it's all dust. Waiting on the next to begin to mention it. So pay until the brain breaks. mistakes. Maybe even the pen from the same state. Into the simulation, I'm a mainstay. We're just trying to see you ascend to the same place. So blend till we change face. You don't want it to end, but you can't stay. So leave us with the can that we can't lay. And the bone never a bend that we ain't straight. It's all recursive, we're all immersive. Laws we purchase, all to circumvent the laws we work with on a dark ship. Many of us long from purpose. Credited to raw emergence. Separate from costly churches as a veteran of lofty searches. That can sell them on the box we lurking as impediment to godly worship.
It's interesting that you say introspect to the bottom. Because, again, this is in the same spirit of what I said before, which is, it depends on what answer you give to what's beyond space-time, what answer we would give to your question, right?
Our position, constant mission, all existence, our commitment with evolved conviction is we all are the citizens of Starless fiction. Short through ages, small new life here, a small few pages, long united, and all new matrix. It's used of lightware, it's all too basic. Destined, every path you're on, you've already selected. With you lasting long in the destiny essence, you can crash your songs on celestial efforts. In the vast, we created the nexus, stands imperfections, we readily etched it. Canvas reflected, we aggressively tested. I was adjusted, all of the irrelevance rested. Built up on the ship in the bottle, only to build it on the ship in the bottle. Loaded for living on the blip in the hollow. More experience than any can follow. Aboard a city of committee and power. Many want ascending in hours, but we are known to take infinity showers. The DMOs make the lineage ours, but we are coded from a synergy browse. The feet alone to make our enemies cower. Set in a track and the rest is freeform. Where we simulate sex in the flesh and the threats of excess and where death is a respawn. When you plug in the disc, the abyss under risk of the stress is the pressure to keep going. You just see all the seconds as ocean with waves of the days to get wrecked in the sea storm. Probe ley lines. Outside of this, there is no space-time. Dousing about mounts and amount countless accounts vouching about whole face lies. Pastoral headsets, whole play lies. Call for the exit and whole snakes die. The simulacra, image opera, living on with the old great minds.
Unfortunately, I still don't know if you went all the way down. It's possible that this kind of whatever consciousness is, it is somehow digging at a deeper truth of reality, but you still don't know when you get to the bottom. You know, a lot of people take psychedelic drugs, and they'll say, well, that takes my mind into certain places where it feels like that is revealing some deeper truth of reality. Still, it could be interfaces on top of interfaces. That's, you really don't know. I mean, it's chaos and completeness is that you really don't know. My own view on it, for what it's worth, because I don't know the right answer, but my own view on it right now is that it's never ending. I think that if this is true, and if consciousness is somehow important or fundamental in the universe, this may be an important fundamental fact about consciousness itself, that it's the never-ending exploration that's going on, in some sense.
Visions of images of the hate I taught. Friendships forfeited over the way I thought. Distance from the intimate instances of the pain I caused. Reject forgiveness from the slain I fought. I was the worst brother, an even worse boyfriend. The type to hurt others, as he the cursed orphan. How can I sleep in peace and dream of a better day? With history of street violence upon my resume. The hardest part is living with the choices. Cause I was contributor to the poisons. I would take the clear and then limit it with distortions. I would take my pain and then give it a sick importance. My path was to attach the dark kismet. My heart missed it, while keeping everyone I knew at arm's distance. I hope what you see now is a stark difference, but I'm accounting for my parts in this. Seeking harsh sentence, I'm guilty. No need for a plea or defense counsel, I'm guilty. I'm guilty. No need for debate or deliberation, I'm guilty. Yeah. Worthless and aloof. Violence was a language I was versed in since abuse. I remember nothing except the numbness from the cries. My mother gave me the name of a fuck that she despised. I was full rejected, wearing the pain as camouflage. As every relationship I would learn to sabotage. I come from the anguish of the abandoned and forgot. To God or whoever was on the block. This continued in the army. I was depression and despair. Volunteering my services for death and didn't care. I went straight from juvie, cause it was that I served the term out. Facing down a weapons charge, outlook looking burnt out. This wasn't a movie, this was my family's karmic debt. The lifelong affliction of a disgraceful army vet. Heart beset with large regret. Can hardly guess. I don't know what else I'll be charged with, but I'm guilty. No need for a plea or defense counsel, I'm guilty. I'm guilty. No need for debate or deliberation, I'm guilty. An adolescent-minded hoodlum. I refused people my help, said no when I knew I could've. I didn't know then, but aggression was my default. Any energy less than respect, and I would tee off. I hate to admit, but I've told secrets, and I've cut good people off for no reason. A whole heathen who broke every law below treason, who cursed every god in no season. What else has gotta stick? I'm self-obsessed, absorbed, and wreck a lot of shit. I've been just as selfish as any spoiled only child. Then a greedy and scheming Ferengi on the brow. To the average Christian, I'm a filthy sinner. To the Muslim eyes, the kafir must meet Allah front and center. No nirvanas or canned heavens, but if they did ever exist, I own every transgression as guilty. No need for a plea or defense counsel, I'm guilty. I'm guilty. No need for debate or deliberation, I'm guilty. 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 Yeah, I know it took a while. We back on course. Yeah, grand unified theory. Forever. Related to the stars like their sibling. You know you can't be jealous, but it's tempting. The theist mourns. My transgalactic future stuns you as you see its form. Where photoreceptors are not needed to see its dawn on the horizon. There's no way there can remain gods. We stack up the quantum bricks that make up domain walls. Strange laws within the omni we abide by. The colors of infinity are limelight. Too bright for human eyesight. You chance the blindness. Staring across the scale trying to understand the science. With Aaron talks of hell. Lower baryonics stay in their fables. We often get mistaken for angels. Dominion is angel, bleed space. We live in the vault with every unique multiverse, equally true and false. Barriers at the source, we breaking straight through the walls. We know what can't be done and we'll equally do it all. Alpha supreme, towering beings with power extreme. It's like, imagine the races who can do anything, including imagining races who can do anything better than type few beings. Housing obscene, flowering seed, amalgam of dreams. It's like, these are the creatures well at the end of time. Features deepened with secrets seated among the inner mind. Ancient while your universe was infant. Where you were going, you could see our imprint. And even though it seems to you and your people our means are endless, it would behoove you to seek a friendship. G-edit, we write molecular cursive. These kids is frankly riches, we structure in multiverses. Trying to make some sense of with only the only purchase. But if I'm beyond the surface, I'm rhyming below the dirt with sick honesty, flow, and purpose. We're from where timelines merge. You search for us well beyond the central finite curve. It's worth it. Our task is level up. We walk a path that you could never rush. We travel from astral dawn to stellar dust. We master better forms. We'll map the death of stars ahead of us. With deeper intimacy and better lust. These raps are Escher poems. Alpha supreme, towering beings with power extreme. It's like, imagine the races who can do anything, including imagining races who can do anything better than type few beings. Housing obscene, flowering seed, amalgam of dreams. It's like, these are the creatures well at the end of time. Features deepened with secrets seated among the inner mind. City on the type of forever. Rhyme Lords. Tour of the Orphan Knight. Iron Star era.